A very good morning to you. We're receiving beautiful compliments in our ears.
Yes,
so
yes.
You found us smiling and responding to that. Yeah, our director, Asante Sana, tunachukua hizo compliments. Karibuni sana to Your World Tuesday edition. My name is Mikali Mary.
And my name is Winnie Lubaba. And the reason why I'm also smiling this morning is because of the topic of discussion. We had started this Uko makeup room. And we were asking ourselves, stability or love, which one would you choose? And guess what? That is what we're talking about today on the show. Really, really excited about today's conversation. And we look forward to also hearing what you guys have to say as far as the topic of conversation. Number one, would you date for money or stability? Not money. Why am I thinking about money? Because stability.
I don't know. Stability. We're looking at stability as money. And
but
so
is it though?
Is it just money or is it? I don't know.
Yeah. We'll look at all the factors. You know, when we talk about stability, what exactly does it mean? And when we talk about love, what exactly does it mean? So it's gonna be an amazing, amazing conversation on Relationship Tuesday. Be sure to stick around until the end of the show. We have a question.
Oh yes, we do. We do. It gets juicier. It gets juicier with the question of the day. Imagine this. Close your eyes. Look at those two people in your life. You meet two perfect matches. One makes your heart race. Matunduriru is over here. Isukuti dancing, yes. The other makes you feel safe and secure. Who do you choose and why?
That's a good question. That's a good. Which one?
Watcha. What did you advice, Konza? And then we can make an informed decision at the end. Okay. Because, I mean, we couldn't even answer it completely at the makeup room today.
Yeah, because it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to think about. And are you just... okay, depending on the responses that we give, we ask ourselves, so are we thinking about just the dating phase or is it long-term? Okay, and that sort of like influences our choices. So engage with us on our socials. So that is at NTV Kenya, both on Facebook and on X, and tag us at Lubembe_Winnie at
It's Mikali Mary.
Yes. And we're also live, so that means you can call in with your responses, your questions, your feedback, whatever it is that you want to share, okay? Whether you chose for love or stability and you want to share your story with us as well, by all means, feel free to do so that we can also, you know, tufungue macho kidogo, some of us, okay? And also use our WhatsApp number, 0112-500-400. Enough of us bantering, okay? We have guests.
Because you're not just alone in studio today. We have an amazing panel to discuss this conversation with us. They're not new to you because they are sort of like residents.
At this point,
we know who to call, and they show up, and we highly appreciate it. Starting on Winnie's immediate left. CJ Otemo, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you here. And the gorgeous, always like showing up to go like, is it hot today? What is she wearing today?
It's surprising you every day.
Miriam, karibu sana.
Thank you very much.
Really, really, you look gorgeous.
Wow, thank you.
And of course, we have relationship coach Kagondo Jr. Karibu sana.
Alipotea.
You remember day one? I met him on my day one on Your World, and then I don't know what happened. Did I scare you?
No, not really. We've come back for the anniversary.
Okay.
Thank you. Good comeback. And we also have an audience with us comprised of young people, I want to say. So perfect people to discuss this because there's a lot of talk in town about stability versus love. And love, first of all, what's this thing called love? Alafu wengine wanauliza shakula love.
Ni swali muhimu. Ni swali nini?
Swala nyeti. They are here with us as well. So should we also ask our guests?
I think we should.
Stability or love?
Safe, secure.
Yeah.
Or matunduliru.
Yeah. Which one would you choose or which one did you choose?
What did you choose then?
Miriam, do you want to go first?
Whoa. I was here hiding thinking CJ.
Want to tap into that wisdom?
I think the question I want to know, and you asked when we started, what are we calling stability? Because in the minds of many, stability is synonymous with money, which is not always the case.
Okay.
You can find people who have money, but they don't have stability. Their life is very disparaged, like they just have chaos revolving around their lives. So what is this stability? I would say stability is a big word.
Okay.
all-encompassing. It involves financial stability. It involves financial stability, emotional stability, even health. Like, it involves everything. So the question is, can stability exist without love? Can love exist without stability?
Because then if we're looking at stability as a whole, these concepts, then again, so where does love fall into it? And can there be love without stability or stability without love?
Is it the case of the chicken and the egg, or the egg and the chicken? I think it's because I feel sometimes it takes, because love, and we have to define that love is not the emotion that people think. And that's where we make a mistake. The matunduriro that you're talking about, they are important because that's what attracts you, brings you close with someone. It's the chemistry. But that's not what love is. You know, love is a doing word. It's a verb. It's an action. It's more than that. You know, and where there is love, I would say there is stability. You know, we were just talking with my colleagues out there, and we're like, relationships are the foundation of everything. True. Leadership, life. They actually say most of the successful nations or successful economies are economies where marriages thrive. So you can see that it is in love that there is stability. But the question is, which comes first?
So I leave it there.
We shall discuss.
There's more where that came from.
All right, CJ, love or stability?
Well, I don't think that it needs to be a choice. Because love should provide stability. Love should provide stability. There are different kinds of love, and sometimes we focus more on the emotional aspect of it, which is very fragile and fickle. But in some usage of love, it is actually an intention, where I choose to love you. But that then, for most people, comes in with time. Like, the feelings you have for somebody at the beginning begins to, fade off. Then you make a choice to stay in love and to love this person past their weaknesses, dysfunctions, past the disparities in vision and things that you look at. So you make a choice and say, I love this person. That's what then keeps relationships and marriages going. You don't always feel that you love this person. You don't always feel like you're in love with them. You stay there for 10 years, 20 years, 5 years. A lot of things come in and go. So you have now got to be very intentional, because again, you'll be attracted, or you will see options that look exciting. You have to now make a choice. This is why when people get into a wedding, they're told forsaking all others. That forsaking all others is a decision. It doesn't mean that now that you are with this person, you'll not notice that, Mwikali looked good, or Winnie looked good, or Miriam looked good. You will notice that. And if it comes in at a time when your love has gone low, that can easily distract you. So you have to intentionally say, look, I'm committed to so-and-so. I'm going to choose to love them, so I'm going to work it out. That's why I say where there is love, there should be stability. But generally, even in the past, you'd ask why the arranged marriages had higher chances of success. Because this was a decision being made. And it's like roles being fitted in, and somebody gets to know their responsibilities. They get to be very clear initially about the why. So as they come in, they have managed their expectations. They know what's expected of them and what they expect of the other person. They have made a decision that this is not something we're working out of, so we will work out our stuff. And eventually, some of them actually end up in love. So love can be generated, but ideally, where there's love, there should be stability.
I feel like I know, because we were talking about it. I think that was your exact point right there, that you can learn to love someone.
Yeah, you can learn to love someone. So stability. Okay, no, I'm not going to give my answer now. Kagondu. Love, stability. So love should provide stability. You said, I mean, both is important. Love is important, but also stability is important.
What's your take?
You can have some good money, and that means you can get a good dog. but you take the love for it to swag its tail for you. All right, because at times we tend to think about this whole interaction, and to me, matters relationship, talk about the love that we're talking about, or even the family setup. It is quite transactional, and sad enough is that people think that money alone will give you happiness, yet it's love that will actually give you that happiness. All right, yes, money is good. Money makes the world move around.
Gives you freedom.
Money gives you freedom, and in fact, it's a fact that it will reduce that sense of being feeling sad, feeling low, because you've got options. All right, and I normally ask people, where do we have it that the people from the well-up families on the social status, they tend to have fewer babies compared to the people who are really struggling, who are down there, and to me, it would be the option. All right. Whenever we feel low, we have an option to maybe cater and provide, ensure that we are happy and we are doing so well. But unfortunately, the ones who are down there, they might lack that, and this is why going back to bed might be as a result of may lead to having so many babies. But you see, having money is one thing, and having love is another. And like my colleagues are saying, if you're in there and you're really thriving, you're doing so well, what is going to stick you together, especially when you are in your low moments? We have heard that money can't buy your health back. Money can't buy you happiness. But that one thing that is going to stick you together, that will provide that essence of happiness, it will be the love that you're talking about.
Interesting. I love that we've got diverse ways to look at this, and some things have been brought out. How arranged marriages used to work, because you make a choice, right? It's a decision. There's no getting out of this, and that is what we are not doing now. There's always an option of if it's not working, it's not working. Gen Zs. The moment it's not working, you're looking for something. So that's out of the window. When you look at stability, like Miriam said, it is different kinds of that. So we're just looking at money, and we're just like, akona mapesa anaendesha gari gani, anafanya kazi gani, and that's what we're looking at. We're not looking at emotional stability, because it's very, very important as well. And then kuna pia trends zime change. The way people used to date back in the day is not how it's happening now. Their priorities are different now, and then it begs the question: how do we? What is it looking like now? Are we still doing the thing for love first, attraction first, then playing hard to get, chasing? Is that still happening? It's
maybe they could tell us, because help us.
There's someone with the microphone. Yes.
Okay. Dating trends amongst you guys. How love is it? Inakuja kwanza, ama stability kwanza, alafu we will learn to love as we go. Please turn on the mic. Alafu uanze na jina lako.
Umejua pa kuwashia.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So my name is Eric, and me na prefer kwanza kukua like stability.
Stability for you ama for them? For you stable ama yako stable?
Saizi it's all about kukua stable, kwa sababu utapatana na dem atakuuliza like what do you have? Unaona? Alafu for example tuseme unalala chini, alafu upatane na dem umpeleke kwako. Kitu ya kwanza ataangalia vile hiyo nyumba iko. Unaona? Haya. Tena udem mnapatana naye, alafu anaanza stories za like anataka yogurt. Utashindwa kumnunulia hizi vitu. Unaona? Like mimi naona kuwa stable saizi kwa hii generation yetu. Very important.
So when you're saying stable, you mean financial
stability? Kwa sababu that's all unapata mostly saizi ukiangalia hata online. Unapata saizi generation yetu wanakimbilia huko hivyo Tinder nini. History mademu wanaacha mavijana wanaendea wababa. Unaona? Kwa sababu baba wana
financial stability.
baba wako na
Zingine
kitu.
tunaongelelea ni tuache emotional stability. Financial nikifika, financial stability
Saizi hakuna real love in short.
Na emotional stability na vitu zingine.
In short saizi hakuna real love. Kila msee anaangalia mfuko ya huu jamaa inakaa iko na nini, kama una nasonga mbele.
Unaangalia nini? Wacha tuende break kwanza. Nyinyi kwa sababu madem tunaangalia mnasema. Nyinyi kama machalia mnaangalia nini? Kwa sababu nyinyi mnaangalia.
Kwa sababu unaona nyinyi ndio mlitufunza. So since madem walianza kuendea wababa, pia sisi tunaendea wama.
On that note, we're going on a break, and then when we come back, wait, what?
Welcome back to Your World, where we left it on fire before we went up to pay our bills. This is Your World, Tuesday edition, and it's all about love today. And we're looking at stability versus love. Na, yani, we may feel wounded.
Why? Why do you feel wounded?
We are the genesis
of why
of heartbreaks as the women before the break, man. Tumekos ati because wasichana wanaendea wa baba. We started the trend and now ati wao wanaendea how
alishindwa kununua yogurt.
Yes.
See, it's not about the purchasing of the yogurt.
Yes.
It's the action, because she communicated a need. I am not blaming you. There was a need. And you were not able to meet her need. Sasa si akaendea mtu mwenye ata meet the need.
Angekuwa tu patient na mimi kwa sababu nilikuwa najituma.
Okay.
Nilikuwa najituma.
Okay.
So maybe uko mbele ningempe more than hiyo yogurt
anataka.
Unaona? But since
lakini umetuambia alienda wapi after amekuacha?
Alienda kwa best yangu. Alafu best yangu pia alikuwa anajua niko na huyu. So alikuwa anaenda chini kumbe wanapatana na mpa. Siku moja nikakuja nikaambiwa hata afadhali mtu fulani. I was like, okay. So it's all about saizi kuwa
stability for you. Okay. Are you okay now?
I'm not.
Really, he's not. But you're in the right space. The right space.
They'll help you to heal. Anybody else loves stability? Yes. Oh, she wants to say something. Oh, do you want to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Go.
So my name is Alvin. Alvin Gumba. I am a model and I'm a student.
Okay.
So concerning love, I think I'll have to differ in a way with my fellow friend. First, love, you experience that thing, you must create friendship. Because without friendship, I think you'll be misused when it comes to love. So when you build a relationship with your girl, with the person you're dating, I think you will go mtakuwa far much better. That's why inasemangwa your girl, if I'm rich, and then manzi yangu akuje niko na dem, I'm broke. He will use the rich guy to give me the money. Because number one, this is because.
Would you allow that though?
No.
It's
an example.
Okay.
I'm giving you an example.
Okay.
If you create that bond, it will be easier for you to be compatible. That's why if there is no finance, your relationship is that love. Because pia madem, they know how to send wanajitumanga pia, and you'll experience the better part of the ladies if you get to understand them very well. But if you come as a provider, the girl will always view utakuwa viewed kama msetu wa kupesa. That's why if money ends, you will find yourself doomed, because hapo ndio utapata meenda, because you never created that bond.
Okay.
For me, my relationships are always successful because I create bond.
Very successful. Okay, let's hear from her and then we'll come back to our response. Because, you guys, I am Patty Mike. All my relationships are
successful.
Hey,
Why did they end, though?
Yeah. Anyway, okay, go.
My name is Faith, founder of Young Moms Network Initiative, and allow me to differ with my friend. I always say that love someone you can go to war with. Love someone you cannot unlove, no matter what. Okay. Don't just go for someone because feelings they are pushing you or something is pushing you to love someone.
Wait, which one would you go for?
I'll go for love. I'll go for love.
Experts, what are
I'll go for love.
You'd go for love.
Exactly. Stability will find us. You know, I always say that I would rather choose a man who is promising in providence than having a man who has stability. There is no respect. There is no availability. You are not available in the family. Okay. So what is the essence of you being stable and you are not available? Man say love me and then the other things will follow us.
Yeah. Okay.
Promising in providence.
Yes, please.
He already ako sawa, ako stable.
Financially.
Unaona, he already ako sawa.
But then that brings out a very important point then.
Yeah. It's kinda ukue, for example, kwa familia, then mkue vijana kama, let's say watatu ama waine, then the three of them wako sawa, alafu wewe unahangaika. Then time naenda home, unajuaga au urushaga kakitu nini. Unajua wewe ukienda huko hivyo we like hawata kuchukua, like kuna vile wao wanakuonaga, unaona? Wataeka hao watatu kwanza mbele, unaona? So for me, ukiwa na pesa kila mtu atakupenda.
No, allow me.
And then we'll come back.
I think some of the things that we're dealing with are definitions. When she's talking about, a stable man, I think she's going back to the fact that this person is only stable financially. Because stability, and we've said it, Miriam talked about that, it's got to be wholesome.
Yeah.
So when you're saying that this person is stable, the reason they provide for you the stability is because you also then begin to feel emotionally stable. Because they're emotionally stable.
Yes.
If they're abusive, then you can't call that stability. And I don't think money is the only thing that makes women go somewhere, because there are women who are living rich men.
Yeah.
And going out with broke people as well. The interesting psychology around this as well. When a girl leaves her father to get married to a man, basically and ideally what is supposed to happen is she's supposed to find a new father.
Okay.
That she's walking away from her biological father to a new father. So you drop your surname, which is probably your father's name, and you adopt your husband's name because there's an exchange. So in the ideal case, then your father gives you over to your husband. He's going to take over the responsibilities of your father. So what happens is women in love are looking for a father figure. If you get to understand that, then you will understand the struggles that sometimes they have. They're looking for that man who is both a father and a lover. The difference between a husband and a father is that the husband has extended duties, which is the romance and the other part. But everything else, this man is supposed to treat this girl like he is the father to her. So no father is going to mistreat his daughter. No father is going to abuse his daughter. No father is going to put down his daughter. No father will let the daughter struggle when he can provide. He's going to be a shield, he will protect, he will build, he'll do that. It's the lack of understanding of the roles that is creating the issues that we have. So if you have a photosynthetic plant and you put it in this room to grow, it will most probably try to grow towards the direction of light. If a woman is put in a situation where she's not getting this light, she begins to bend. Some of those things are not new. In the older days, people would marry people who were 10, 20 years younger. If you looked at any weddings in the 80s, 70s, whatever, it's now that we've really brought it to a place where classmates marry each other. So the pressure is, what this gentleman is talking about, now she should have waited. But now we have to ask ourselves, what is our expectation when she's coming into the relationship? There's several things that define how the relationship will go. One is exposure. If this person is exposed to provision, maybe that's not what they're looking for in a relationship. But if you're going to marry somebody or relate with somebody who has been starved of finances, and then they get exposed to that, it might attract them. Two is expectation. When they are growing up, what do they think a relationship should be? Sometimes we don't talk about the expectations that we have. You know, I say, when we go to job contracts or business contracts, we really analyze that. We get into relationships, you're giving your life, not just 8 to 5. You're giving your life to this person, but you don't really interrogate what their expectations are and whether you can meet them and see whether they can meet your expectations. The other thing is experience. Because if I come in and I've had a bad experience before, when I'm coming into this relationship, unless I am healed, I'm going to project. So there's several factors that come into that place. And I feel it's important to understand where your partner is at. Otherwise, you may brand them or they may brand you wrongly.
Okay.
Can we talk about experience a little bit? Because there's a lot of people who say, listen, I have dated for love at some point in my life, and I have been chomwad. Okay?
Marakava.
Yeah. So they're like, you know what, at this point, what are the tafute stability? And in this case, it's usually financial stability. Emotional, well, no love. And it's supposed to provide stability, but it did not. So they say, listen, financial stability at this point is what they're focused on because they have been bruised over and over and over again. So my question is there like a right or wrong way to approach relationships for those who choose stability versus those who choose love?
I think I like what CJ has said. It all goes down to personal expectations. We all have expectations when we're getting into relationships. You will find a person who, you know, for example, a lady, she's suffered, amekula life, you know, she's seen a few things. And where she is, she's like, I'm just looking for financial stability right now. Then you have a man who has been starved for love wherever he's been. He's stable. Maybe he's a bit stable financially, but at this point, he's looking for a woman to stand by his side. He's looking for companionship. He's looking for support and love. Then he meets this woman. She has expectations. She's reading into his pockets. She's psychic enough to see, you know, he has a few things. And he's looking at her and he's thinking, I think she's maternal enough. I'm going to get the kind of nurturing and companionship I need. And they come together. What do you think will happen? At some point, they will be heading at the same direction, but shortly they will differ because he won't be getting what he's expecting, the love. You know him, he's come with all his romance. He's come, I want to show you this, I want to take you here. Her, she's like, yo, are you paying my rent or not? Straight up. So as much as he's trying to do his romantic shows, she's looking at that as child play. Like, what the heck are you doing? For me, romance is pay my rent, pay my school fees.
That's how you show.
That's how I receive love. And he's like, but wait, you know, can we not love each other? So the expectations were completely different. You know, they're looking for something different, but they've come together expecting that whatever it is they are trying to make work will work. I like what Alvin said. He said, build friendship, build the bond. You know, that bond is what goes along with, you know, you can actually meet a man or a woman who's financially stable, because that's what we're talking about right now. And you don't know what's going to happen 10 years from now.
That's true.
He might lose everything.
He might.
Then what? If that bond is not there, that's where you park. A man comes from wherever he was coming from and the house is empty. The woman went with everything. Because there was no bond. But if there was a strong bond, this woman can actually say, we made it through worse and we got here. We can start again and make it again. So I like what Alvin, create the bond. But the bond can't be created unless you know what your expectations are. You know? And to my friend here, I'm sorry I didn't get his name. Now I come in as a counseling psychologist. How you see yourself matters when you're getting into a relationship. Alvin is very confident. Do you know he may not have money in his pocket, but he's like, yo, me, I still can get a chick.
He said all his relationships have been successful.
Because that's his... It doesn't translate to money. It doesn't translate to money.
Okay.
It doesn't translate to money, but it's how you see yourself.
Yes.
How you see yourself is how you govern your life, is how you govern your relationship, it's how you govern everything. You can never be anything outside of what you see yourself. And if you see yourself as this person who is always victimized by women because you don't have money, guess what? You're not going to have the confidence to even talk or cultivate a friendship with the one who's interested in knowing you. I'm talking out of experience. We've been talked to by men who have no money.
Yeah.
And we've gone into a relationship with them. And happy relationships. Not because, not because you didn't expect to be treated and taken and bought for that yogurt, but the fact that this person already has that confidence to lead you.
Yes.
Right.
To lead, they actually lead you. And you end up going somewhere with this person. You end up building a life with this person because of his leadership. A man will not lead a woman if he's not already seen himself as a leader. It starts with how you see yourself.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true. And maybe you could chime into that, and as well as looking at the gender roles, because they've come out strongly that there are things, expectations of men and women when they're getting into relationships, whether it's love or stability, who looks for what to wear in most cases, because there's a lot of accusations that we are the ones who are looking for the money, the man is not feeling stable. But what if the woman is the one with the money? She is stable and what she's looking for is love. So the gender roles when it comes to, choosing a mate and stability and love.
Wow, I love the direction that this conversation is taking, and some pretty good pointers from my colleagues. Of course, how do I come into this relationship? And there's a question that I love asking. If you are given you to marry you, will you marry you? All right?
So, about that.
Important question. What would you want?
Would you marry you?
Okay. If you were given you to marry you, would you
All right. And that tells you that we come into the relationship with what they have just shared on, with a lot of expectations, and experiences also come hand in hand. There's also an element of the belief system. At our home, this is what we do. As a man, I expect the lady to, iron my clothes. First thing in the morning, I need some breakfast. And this is what I saw my mama do to my father, right? And that tells you that whenever we are coming into the relationship, as CJ is talking about, the lady is looking for the father. Remember that she's also coming to the relationship together with the encounters that she has had, one with her former, if not ex-boyfriend, talk about her brother, if not a very significant cousin that she has, and all these encounters really models how she perceives and thinks about this particular man that she's engaging with. Same case with the men, right? They're tagging along their mothers, their sisters, talk about their ex-girlfriends. But now, this is where the gist of the matter is. There's an element of emptiness in this whole element. Why? Because we tend to think that the other person is going to fill into the gap, right? And whenever we ask ourselves, if I was given me to marry me, it's all about, it trickles down to I working on myself. Right? And whenever we talk about stability, as much as I'm expecting the other person to, bring an element of stability in this whole relationship, I should also be in a point whereby already I have worked on my brother is talking about yogo. And this lady is leaving him because he can't afford the yogo. But it's also a point of concern. And this is where most of us, we need to really ask ourselves, am I in a space whereby I'm able to get quality relationships based on the kind of a space that I'm in, all right? Because if already I have worked on myself and say, even if it's not the size of my wallet, like my brother back here, he's quite confident, you know, with having some good vision and all that, having in mind that men are leaders, they're the vision bearers and all that. When I'm in this particular space, then I'll be able to guide through and, of course, be able to show the way for all these particular case. So the thing is, you find that that element of emptiness contributes in a very big way, because you find that there are people who have been hurt before, right? There are some people who have gone through traumatic encounters. There are some people who have got some bruises in terms of the encounters that they had with their significant other. There are some who are rejected before. All right. There are some who are looking for validation, for acceptance, you know, to be told it's okay, you know, you're enough and all that. And this is why you find if you're coming from that particular space, then you just fall for anybody who says yes. Then within a very short while, then, you know, tables turn and it's no longer as stable as it looked like before. So I feel both, you know, the man and the woman, they have a critical role of ensuring that they provide a very safe space for the other person where they can be able to emerge. Because if you can meet me at my point of lowness, when I'm not enough, when I've not been able to emerge as, you know, somebody who is stable, then you'll be talking about, you know, that guy, he really hurt me. He's not a good man. He's not a good provider, you know, and that tarnishes the whole spectrum, especially with how you relate with each other. So this is why I'm saying that we all have a role to play in terms of working on ourselves and ensuring that whenever we meet with the other person, we emerge and appear when we are stable ourselves.
Can we also maybe go deeper into how men and women view relationships, still on the gender card?
Yes.
Because a lot of the times there's this expectation, a man should do this, should do that, should, you know, and a woman should be this and behave like this and do this, right? But when it comes to these two people falling in love, can we talk about how they both approach so that kusikuwe na hiyo fight ya wanawake wanafanya sisi ndo tunaendea wamama because they refuse to do this and all those things. Is it the same or is it different how these two genders view love and relationships in general? Like, say for example, why do women fall in love and why do men fall in love?
Men fall in love with a woman who is going to help them fulfill certain roles. For a man, when he's picking a woman, it's nearly like a job interview.
Okay.
You're coming into a certain role. So either he's looking for a homemaker, he thinks you can make a good mother, you can help him grow his business, you can support his vision, most of that, and other matters as well that it's too early to talk about. But generally, men are very clear about that. That's why when he comes to Mwikali and Mwikali says no, he'll generally come to Winnie. And you'll wonder, why didn't he give me time to think about it? But for him, this is a job interview. He's trying to look for the best candidate. But women begin with the emotional attachment.
It's a problem.
They begin with emotional, and if they're not feeling it emotionally, they're not coming into it.
And can we dissect that emotional attachment?
Yes. Is it even? Should we do that? Should we do interviews now?
Because women are more emotional, men are logical. But it's like.
So I'll take it a little bit. I'll take it a little bit a different direction.
Okay.
So I am a believer in the Bible. So I'm going to tell you what happened in the beginning. When the man was created, he did not have any human relationship around him.
True.
Okay.
So he worked in silence. The primary space for a man is to work in silence. Have internal conversations, go mental. And this is why whenever men have issues, they generally then go into silence.
That's true.
And work was the primary relationship of the man outside of God. So a man can quit a relationship to build his career because that is his primary relationship. When the woman came, she found somebody to talk to. So she came into a social interaction. So for a woman, the primary relationship is a person. So she can quit work to make her relationship work. But for the man, it would flip. So if this man is thriving at work or has found purpose, it doesn't necessarily have to be that he has money or something, but he has defined his purpose and he has something, it becomes easier for him to give the woman himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
When he has not found that, then even when the woman has found his man, he will have the issues that this gentleman has of lack of confidence and stuff, because he has not yet found his garden that he's operating from. And so now this woman will struggle with the man because the man has not found himself in what he does. So women expect to be spoken to. They expect to be listened to.
Yes, please.
They expect to be taken care of.
Yes.
Because this this is how it started. But for the man, he's expecting to be respected and supported. And I'll tell you, if you ever diminish what a man does, it doesn't matter what else you do.
That's true.
If you diminish what he does, he may not look at you as the helper. So for the man, it's how you fit into his bigger picture and his vision. So he will look for somebody who, when they say supportive wife, you have to ask yourself, supportive to what? Because there's a way he's thinking around it. So a man will not generally need you to buy chocolate or, you know, be romantic or something. He's thinking about the respect and the support. Can you help me build whatever I have? Do you see value in what I do? If I'm in politics, you cannot hate politics. If I am a performing artist, you can't hate what I do. This is going to affect how we relate. But for the woman, she will think like, you know, I want you to be here for me. I want you to concentrate on me. He wants you to concentrate also on what he does.
Now, the second part to my question now comes in, because so our ideas are slightly different in terms of how we view and enter into relationships. So then how do we get to that consensus where we're speaking the same language?
Communication, for me, I always say communication is the respiratory system of relationships. Communication means that we are getting a common ground. Commune, common union. We're getting into common ground. It cannot be done without conversations being had, and not just easy conversations, but difficult conversations as well. And having very clear communication. When you don't talk, that's communication. The other person will interpret it. And communication is not necessarily that I texted you or I talked to you. It is not communication until the feedback tells me we're on the same page. So there are these four aspects in communication: what I think, what I say, what you hear, and how you interpret it. All of those have got to be aligned. If I say to you, good morning, and we had had a fight, if you interpret that as me trying to check you out, there's a breakdown in communication. Your interpretation must be the same as my intention. So it means that when we are communicating, where I don't understand something, I should ask, what does that mean? We rarely go into we rarely go back into what that means. We make assumptions based on where we are at, and then we react. Or sometimes we think we know what the other person meant. So it's important for people to grow the quality of their communication so that eventually we find common grounds. We will not agree on everything. We will not see things the same way in everything. But then the fundamentals and the key things, we need to have a common way of looking at them.
Masterclass. The class is quiet.
It's amazing. I think I'd also like to add, I'd like to add, I mean, what he said is so profound. I'd also like to add this, especially about us women. One of the mistakes that we make is to be more interested in the relationship and the marriage than the man himself. Now, when you're not interested in the man himself, the cues he's talking about, knowing what his purpose is, what his direction is, you're not going to get that.
No, you're not.
And if you don't get that, your role is misplaced. You don't know what you're doing in his life.
That's true.
So guess what you bring? The noise that you started with in the Garden of Eden. Chaos. You know, because you don't know what you're doing. God was very intentional. Before he brought the woman into man's life, he had purpose. What CJ has said. He had work. He knew the direction he was taking. Then he brought in woman to fill in a role as helper. I think I have said this before. That word helper if you look at it in Hebrew, it's the same word used for the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Ezer. That's the word, Ezer. It's the same word used for Holy Spirit. What is the role of the Holy Spirit in our lives?
Yeah.
To counsel, to teach, to help, to guide, to support, to comfort, among others. We have the same role.
Okay. Hey, to the break on that note. Okay, and then when we come back, you talked about expectations, Miriam, and said it's important to communicate your expectations. So my question would be, at what point then do we communicate our expectations in the relationship? But again, we'll come to that after the break. The question that we're asking you today is very simple. Imagine this. You meet two perfect matches. One makes your heart race, the one that you said,
Matunduriru.
that one. Okay. And the other one makes you feel safe and secure. Who do you choose and why? Let me tell you. Matibabu should I even call the second? I'm not going to say your second name. Says, date for stability, but marry for love.
Huh?
Yeah. Date for stability, but marry for love. Think about that for a sec.
Okay.
And then Thomas Muita says, stability, of course. Who's talking about love here? Love is a scam. Aya, Roslyn O'Boy says, Itirong says, this is not an era of love. I would marry for stability. Let me tell you, what's a 20 break? When we come back, we'll read more of your feedback. But remember, our lines are open as well. So you can give us a call and either share your story, answer the question, or if you have words of wisdom to share as well, feel free to do so, all right? But we'll be handling all that after the break. Just stay with us. The show is Your World.
Welcome back to Your World. Mambo yamechemka hapa ndani. Break ni conversation.
I wish we had a camera that keeps recording.
Even
when we go on the break.
We probably should do that one of these fine days. We're talking about love and stability and choosing that, and you have a very important, interesting question, and we're telling you to imagine this. There are two guys.
Okay.
Yeah. One is giving you matunduriru, fireworks, yani making your heart race.
Butterflies that we always talk about.
Yes, and the other one is just giving you a safe, secure environment. Who would you choose and why? And we've got feedback.
Okay, Kipruto Arap Temuge says, we should date for procreation alone.
Where? Okay.
Love, stability is what Shaya does. Okay. And then someone here says, this is Paps Diragu who says, women date for upkeep, men date to raise family. Another one says, Mokili Mobimba says, men date for love and lust, while women go for stability and satisfaction. Anything contrary to that is pure lies.
Really?
That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying.
Okay.
Stop. You have what? Okay, go.
Ni Freddy anasema, hapo kwa nyinyi ndio mlitufunza iko juu sana. Mapenzi ya yoga hatari sana. One guy, Boaz says love is a scam and a dangerous illusion. Do not try that at home, school, workplace, church, or anywhere.
Love is a scam. What did love ilifajia dini watu? Heminston Ayora says stability, nothing else. Yeah, but stability is important. Roger Vibes also says stability. Pastor Willard Lusimbo says dating for love or stability is equal to prostitution. Wait, what does that even mean? What does that even mean? Pasi, no any Pasi. Help us, help the congregation. And then someone here says, Dennis Wangila Wasike says, be stable and love yourself before dating. Depende kwanza, and then all the others, okay? And like I said, our lines are open. Feel free to call in. If you want to use our WhatsApp number, that is 0112-500-400. We'll also go through there and look at your feedback, all right? So the question about communicating your expectations, when do we do it?
I would say, first of all, communicate your own expectations to yourself first.
Or to yourself.
Yeah.
Wow.
Don't be blind about it. Because sometimes we enter into a relationship with the illusion that it's going to work out just the way we want it. But what are your expectations? You know, Are you entering that relationship looking for emotional stability, financial stability, the stabilities that we're talking about, not just financial?
Yeah.
Or are you entering for a short ride? I'm just looking for something to fill in the blanks right now. I'm bored and I want someone to have a good time with.
Yeah.
What is it? So once you know what your expectations are, even as you're about to get into a relationship with someone, you can already see this is not going to work or it's going to work. There's no point of taking someone for a ride like that girl took Richie for a ride. She probably knew, I'm looking for a particular kind of relationship. I want a guy to buy me this and this and this. And she probably could already see Richie will not be able to do that, but she still entered and broke his heart in the process. So you need to know, self-awareness is so important before you enter into a relationship. And most of us are blind and enter into a relationship with blind spots. So once you know what your expectations are and you enter that relationship and you're seeing that this relationship is getting somewhere, it's actually serious, then tell this person, these are my deal breakers, this is what I'm expecting from you, and this is how far I'll go and how far I won't go. Most of the time, like the clients I usually tell them, you'll find people after marriage, after they have done their wedding, they're coming for counseling after 6 months. Ready to break up. I usually tell such a couple, you are asleep during courtship. You slept through courtship. Because you didn't ask the relevant questions. You didn't give your relevant expectations. You just slept through it and thought things would work out automatically. Relationships, like any other thing, do not work automatically. You put work into them. Even the Bible says, the way we are here throwing the word love, it's a very serious word. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not keep a record of wrongs, meaning you're forgiving this person every day. And Jesus said, forgive 77 times 7 times, meaning to the infinity. And love knows, it knows no bounds. So when you're saying that you love someone, then what are you saying? Love is heavy. It's the foundation of everything. Even in our families, we may not say we love each other, but you experience that love. And even within the family, there's expectations. There's a way you expect your father to be. There's a way you expect your mother to be. There's a way they expect you to be. But most of the time, even in families, you find people being heartbroken because those expectations were never communicated with love. It was always a transaction. Ukipita wewe ni mtoto wangu, usipopita wewe ni mtoto wa mama.
That's true.
Like there was that, you know. So communicate, know your expectations first, and then know when to communicate them and communicate them correctly. It's not about badgering or battering the other person about it.
When you asked this earlier, and I just want to tug into that because it's also been raised about how women, we are doing this thing where we're just looking for money, but isn't it the reality though? That probably we are seeing a lot of women who are choosing financial security over romance, probably because they're probably getting their own money elsewhere. Probably they don't want to look for that money and they want your money or they want to feel safe because of that and be like, I'd rather lilia kwa Range Rover than kwa baiskeli. You know, I'd rather get that good life. I'd rather get my children to be taken care of. Isn't that a thing that is happening now?
I don't think that it is.
Okay.
Sorry. Did I take your space?
I'll build from
You'll pick it up from,
I said earlier, I don't think these are things that are happening now. Because even when you look at the older marriages before, families would consider those kind of things. And they'd say, Mwikali, we would love for you to get married to so-and-so because he will take care of you. A woman generally needs to be taken care of. And this is how some people ended up having multiple wives because they could take care of those wives. So it is generally some expectation, very subtle in a woman that she should be taken care of. What has happened now is that we are having these conversations. It's not that these things have come now. They are more visible. They're more out there. We are able to have the conversations around them. And probably we have a more vocal kind of people. But they also probably have had this disillusionment with the love or the marriage institution. So they think, I'm not sure this man will be with me for the next 40 years. Maybe also because of experiences. Maybe so their fathers leave. Also the men around them, even their own brothers, living relationships. And they're thinking, well, if this is what men are doing, then let me secure myself. Because for a very long time, the woman would remain probably with the children. And then she's got to start afresh. So maybe that has also contributed. And I'm not here to advocate for anybody, but I'm just trying to dissect it, that maybe that has also contributed to the place, you know, in the past when a man died and he's got to leave the company house, he's got to move back to the village. The woman has nowhere to start completely. The children may not be taken by relatives and all of that. So there are things that have also contributed to people getting to where they are. And maybe these girls are watching their mothers and saying, I wouldn't want to go through whatever happened to my mother, rather. So they come in and they want to protect themselves from one thing, not knowing that while doing that, they're killing something else. Because usually when we want to mitigate one thing, we may be killing another thing, and they're not supposed to be, you know, any dichotomy in those kind of things. You can still have love and have the stability. But to protect themselves, then they go for one thing.
Okay.
And I like it. He has put it so well. And looking back, my grandma was not a working lady. She was not a career woman. And by then, it was very easy for grandpa, you know, to take care of grandma, because she's right there at home, you know, taking care of the family, nurturing and, you know, building whatever the man has worked on. And we have seen that women, they are homemakers. Yes, we might put up a beautiful house, but it will take a lady, a good woman, to actually make it a home. All right? And this is where the transition has actually taken place. And I like it when CJ talks about the security aspect of the whole thing. Because if looking at back then, back in the day, how old were we living? We could clock, say, 90, 100, 120. All right? But today, our
70 Apple, we are celebrating you.
70 is even a bonus. We are losing men at a very high rate when they are so young. Okay, so it could be one of the reasons why this lady might think about the future of the kids and where they fall in and getting to think about, you know, how to take care of them. But remember, there's also the social aspect that comes with it. Remember, we live in a space whereby socially I want to attain a certain status, and in most cases you find that there could be those who are corrupted in terms of how they perceive and the kind of an image that they want to portray. And this is where we're saying, in the name of chasing one thing, we are killing the other. I want to appear to be from this rich but not wealthy, remember, family where we look like we are doing so well. And in that essence, you find that, you know, we lose what has brought us together at the end of the day. And it could be the reason why you find that in most cases, ladies are going to look for somebody who has the money in the name of looking after the kids, you know, or the future itself, right? But at times, I'm saddened, and actually, it's not even at times, I'm actually saddened when we don't love people and use money, and we end up using people and loving money. And that contributes to a lot of the issues that we're having, especially right at home. Because if they look at the man as an ATM, then that means that their value and what they were supposed to, you know, contribute to that particular home setup, it would be something different. And it could be the reason why that you're also finding so many young men also doing the, you know, the unthinkable in the name of trying to fill into that gap. Why? Because there's a lot of pressure out there. There's a lot of demands. There's a lot of expectations. So they will do all that they can. I've seen some getting lost in betting. You know, I've seen some looking for Mama Waharia, you know, in the name of trying to keep up with the pace. And as much as one of us was saying that she would go to the Mbabas to get the money to offer and to take care of him. The same thing, we have seen it happening with the young fellas, the young men, you know, going to Mama Haria so that he can be able to take care of the lady. So there's a lot of pressure that comes with it. But to me, when we think about the whole spectrum of the stability and the love, to me, happiness has dividends at the end of the day. Why? Because when we choose love, then that means I'll be able to support this man. If I choose love, then that means I'm going to love, to respect, and of course be able to take care of my lady. And at the end of the day, we are going to have a happy home that is stable, that has a lot of safety for all of us.
Right. I have a question for the audience. Who amongst you has ever... you guys have questions?
Yes, okay, with a comment.
Okay, all right, go.
Thank you. My name is Aguvasu Moses, and I also have one dissenting opinion. First of all, I don't subscribe to the notion of dating. Because I dated once, sometimes back, and it disappointed me. But I subscribe to the concept of building a strong bond in love. And it takes, in love, there is sacrifices. And those who are not ready to sacrifice, they'll go maybe for material things. But I would like to use one common example. In 2013, when Governor Alfred Mutua took the helms of Machakos County, he had the first lady. And if indeed the relationship is about, I want to disabuse that women may look for financial stability. Okay. That lady, the first lady, had all it takes. First of all, Governor Alfred Mutua was a government spokesperson. So he had all the monies. Yes. But at the end of it all, that lady, we know all of us how that relationship ended.
We cannot speak about their relationship because we don't know.
Yes, I'm just using that one to say that not most of the ladies enter into a relationship looking for financial stability. Okay. There are shared values, shared values and goals that both of us, when we are coming into a relationship for a long-term achievement, for what you want to achieve, and also if the expectations are aligning together to your shared goals.
Okay.
Yes.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
So you said you do not believe in the concept of dating, but you believe in the concept of building a stronger bond.
Yes.
Now, what is dating to you? Because how are you building a strong bond if you're not
dating? And I wanted to support the pastor that said, in dating, it might lead to prostitution, simply because this is what he was meaning. When you are dating for yes, I want to interpret him because he actually said what I believe in. Yes. So when you date, you can date for financial stability. If you will not get what you wanted there, or your expectations are not met there. For example, it's Mikali. Allow me to use you as an example. If I don't get that value in you, I'll automatically go to Winnie. And if it is not about love, because in love you have to sacrifice, and also as CJ said, you can learn to love someone. And if it's just about dating, I'll not love you, I'll automatically go for the third one and the fourth one. And in the end, that is what it is prostitution, because I'll have Mikali, Winnie, or multiple people. And actually that is what he was trying to mean.
So building strong bonds.
Relationship, you have, since Miriam, she's here, she believes in love. Love, you persevere. You tolerate the weaknesses of the other partner. You also, there are some weaknesses that might not augur well with you, but when you are actually in love, out of 10, there is that one thing that says, surely this lady deserves this. They deserves me, or deserves the.
So what are your values then? What are you looking to? What you should come in kidogo?
What I'm looking for when in love, I'm looking for that mother figure. CJ put it clearly, where a woman is looking for the father figure. Yes. And as men, we are there looking for the mother figure. Someone who will be there, comfort you when you are at your lowest point. He is there to pick you up.
Okay.
Thank you.
Would you date you? Would you marry you as the person that you are now? Do
if you were given you
to
marry
marry you,
giving,
would you yes, would you?
Yes, it's work in progress.
Guvasu, okay, I have something to say to that.
Allow me to say something.
Yeah.
Something small.
Yeah.
I don't mind to. That's his belief and it's good. But I think we misconstrue what dating is.
Yes.
Dating can be described as come and see. All right? When you go to a shop to buy something, sometimes you just go see, you look at the color, is it good for me, and then you actually decide, I'm going to buy this piece because it suits me, it has the color I want, it has the length I want, and it flatters me. Then you transact and purchase. People mistake dating with courting. Dating is, I sit, like now, for example, I can sit with him, let's say, we go for 2-3 dates with him, and we realize, we're not compatible. We don't believe in the same God. We don't have the same value system. We can't even agree on what food to order together. That shows, even when we get into courtship, we won't go the same direction. That's what dating is. Even people who, nowadays, I've done my investigations, who are getting into arranged marriages, Indians, they are being allowed to do 2-3 dates before the family has already arranged for them to get married, but they're being allowed to do 2-3 dates just to get to understand, do we have the same values? Will we be compatible? So you're analyzing, it's the analyzing phase. So I don't know what people understand by dating, but people are getting into relationships, yes, that they are calling dating, but I don't think dating goes past 3 months. It doesn't. If you're in a relationship that is past 3 months, you're not dating.
You're courting.
You're courting. You're in something.
You're in something.
You just don't know what it is, but you're in something. But
so you
it's
can't
not dating.
be dating, going for those dates and saying you're in a relationship.
No. Past 3 months, you already have seen what you need to see. Dating is come and see.
And is it, again, we hear this, and again, I've seen this where women are told multi-date, and even for the men, multi-date, so that of all these people, you're able to pick the one that you want to settle with, and then you start the process of courting. But when someone says, no, I'm actually seeing this, and this, you're judged automatically. That, this one, bad news, stay away. So a lot of people, women mostly, are like, then what do we do? So we multi-date in hiding, in secrecy.
It depends with what you're doing in that dating.
Okay.
That's what now changes everything.
All right.
You can't be in that come we see and you're sampling all of them sexually.
Oh, no, so yes.
That is something else altogether. But the phase of talking, I mean, like for example, if we bring up the issue of online dating, you don't talk to one person in that site. You talk to different people because you're trying to see the one that I can actually settle with. It's the same thing with multi-dating. But that's just talking phase. You're talking to get to know and understand each other. Now, if you go beyond talking, then that's not dating anymore.
I see that. Do you have a question, a comment?
To comment.
Okay.
There is something CJ said. Women go for the figure. We have this thing of social saying that we Gen Zs, we are going for sugar daddies, something that personally I don't concur with it. And as I mentioned earlier, I would rather go for a promising man, someone that I know in future will provide what I want. And now,
But how do you gauge the achievement of the goals and the promises that they...
What do you look for to
everybody
be like...
has a vision.
Kila mtu ako na vision and a joke. So what are they doing things
that you would say and say, you know what, I'm going to stick with this man and not this other one?
There is something that she said, love is patience, love is kind. And I have my own imperfection. He has his own imperfection. Can the man that I've gone for be patient with me? Can he handle my imperfections? Can he be patient with me? And one thing that I always believe is that God will never give you someone who is perfect. He always give you someone who has imperfection.
Okay.
For you to mold that person to be the person that you want to have.
Right. Enters new word.
I have somebody questions on that part. But hey, okay, before we go on a break, someone else. Yeah, but let's give him a chance because hajaongea. Tutakuona kweli? Aba usimame, kuja usimame hapa.
Yeah.
Go.
Hi, I'm Joe.
Hello, guys.
Hello.
I'm Michael. I'm an entrepreneur and also a photographer.
Yes, speak closer to the mic, yes.
So I have a comment and also a question. So personally, I'll date for stability because, I mean, you can't love a lady if you can't provide.
Put your microphone closer.
Oh, yes. Sorry. You can't love a lady if you can't provide for her.
Okay.
But also I have a burning question because I'm recently from campus and I've gone through many heartbreaks, sorry to say. So there's this thing about campus, about multi-partner, where you explore your options and try to figure out your lifetime partner.
Okay.
So what I was asking, is it good to
microphone?
Is it good like to settle on a girl like who has seen like maybe her visions and she's ready to settle with you, or you can just settle for one just to have fun with, to party around and all that stuff? Yeah.
Answer question after break. But also, so you feel if you're not financially stable, you are not in the capacity to love. Just yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. How is? Okay. To the break. And then Turudi will answer his question plus so many others, of your questions. Where Boja nakupatia
matunduli.
The other one gives you is secure.
Safe, secure.
Yes. So which one would you choose and why? We'll also go through your feedback after the break. Do stay with us.
Welcome back to Your World. We're good now.
I was about to sing.
Your World Tuesday edition, we're talking about love. Now, tunauliza swali muhimu sana. Imagine there are two men, one is giving you alilililili, and the other one is giving you safe, stable, secure. Who will you choose and why?
Yes.
Emmanuel Shabana anasema real love iko kwa sana ni vile haitafutwi na emotions. Ukiwa real utapata real, ukijiringa na kuwa hakuna real utaishi fake life, so utaangukia fake love. Be you financially stable or unstable, be real.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Wacha tuongee na Jane.
Yes.
Jane ako kwa simu from Nairobi. Good morning, Jane.
Morning, how are you?
Very well. Thank you so much for calling us this morning. Uko na swali, comment, story?
Comment, actually, you're having a very nice discussion.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Just to mention, there is a comment that a girl mentioned that you can mold a person, but I wanted to comment that you can't mold the person because each and everyone has their own personality. So it's maybe for you to tell, Zipina is a vumilia, because you can't change a person.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jean, for that. Appreciate it. All right. We also have Juliana on the phone. Good morning.
Morning to you. Morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for calling us. Do you have a question or a contribution?
Yes, please. I would like to share a little bit. My name is Juliana Dambuki. I come from Machakos County, and I love young people. I'm a mother and a grandma.
Oh.
I'm a mother of 5. I have 3 boys and 2 girls. And I love the Lord and saved. I'd like to participate in this because I've been following and I'm so happy because I can see the way you are encouraging the young ones and how they can get the right person, and I'm so happy. The reason being, also I have some who are not yet married, and my prayer is God to give them the right one, the right God-fearing woman. That is my prayer. And when I'm praying, I pray for whole ladies, whole men in our country and in the world because of the fear of the Lord.
Thank you.
I would like to talk about men first.
Okay.
Once a man starts looking for a wife, or when a man is ready to get married, he might go around looking for the right one. He'll ask the first one and maybe the second one while he's still watching. And the men tend to compare the wives with their mothers. They'll start looking, my mother, she's like this, she does this and this to my father. Can I get a wife like this? Or compare with a relative who are doing well, the wife and the husband. And now when they start looking, they see this girl, she's not the right one. And the guy will see this man is not the right one.
Okay.
The reason being, they fear in marriage these days. And I don't know why you fear. My sons and the daughters, do not fear. Get in marriage. Maybe you might think you are not financially fit. And maybe if you get married, this wife will make your ways right. And then you have what you want.
Okay.
Because many men, maybe they'll get here and there. And some even get to drinking when they don't get the madam right. The same with the ladies. And now when I come to the marriage, actually we pray for the marriage because they are breaking when they are very young. They just marry, they stay for months or years, and they part. Actually, that is what our young ones are doing. There is that you have to persevere. Once you get the person you want to marry, you have to persevere, be with that person, because this person you have just come together when he's a grown-up and you are grown-up.
Okay.
So, your ways are not his ways. You just come back together and they plan your life. And then you'll be blessed. And those who go to church, actually, God is there for you. You continue praying for your marriages and it will really succeed.
Okay.
But if you just sit like this, a man comes from work, it is your duty to cook today. The lady, I'm also from work. Who is cooking today? Yesterday I did, today I'm doing, and there's now that marriage is automatically part.
Okay.
Why? The Bible says, women, you have to obey
your husband.
Your husband.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You have to submit yourself to the man to the man who is your husband.
Okay.
You have to follow the ways the man says because he's the head of the family. But they are not following that. They just say, si ninafanya kazi, na wewe unafanya. Sisi tu, mimi nimechoka, hata unachoka tunaweza lala. And now, mkibarikiwa na mtoto, there is where the worst comes.
Okay.
Because now, you have to take care of the child. And here the lady is busy, the man is busy, now the child is in the hands of the household.
All right.
Yeah.
And the life will be very difficult.
Okay.
When I flash to our days, I'll be 70 this year. And I'm so happy to be 70. My husband is late. And I thank God for the far the Lord has taken us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because these days, the marriage is not working at all. Why? Everybody's looking for money. Marriage is not for money. Love is not for money.
Yeah.
Many ladies, they are looking in the pocket of the men. And the one she gets a man who does not have money, this is not Mr. Right. While God has given you that person to be the Mr. Right, because you don't know, you look for the money, and then you will get the worst.
Okay.
Because you don't know where this person gets. Maybe it's a thief.
Yeah.
Maybe he has collected his money from other ways to show that he has money. So I advise my young girls to calm down, go to church, get saved, walk slowly, pray for the Mr. Right.
Okay.
The same with men.
All right.
Okay.
Go to church, pray to God,
Yeah.
ask God to give you God-fearing woman. And definitely, you'll get that Mr. Right, and then you'll get that Madam Right.
Hey,
to conclude,
thank you.
Actually,
yes.
As you know, there are no jobs. And when there are no jobs, men are thinking, I do not have job, I cannot marry. Well, you love somebody and that person loves you. You just get married and God is going to open a way and you'll be great, great people. Don't just sit. You reach 40, you approach to 50 and you're still looking for Mr. Right or you're still looking for Madam Right. My dear youth, I love you so much. I wish you well. My prayer is God to open your eyes and know what your heart wants.
Desire.
God is going to give you the desire of your heart. Thank you. Thank you for what you are doing because you are
Thank you so much.
Wow. Hey, that was fantastic. Yes. So we usually have 10 minutes to go. We have 10 minutes. We have to answer his question.
Yes.
What's to answer his question
first?
Yes. Would you even remember?
Dating
for money. In campus. And there's a lot of
and potential
girls and all those things. Your question was what exactly? Is it right? Is it okay?
Yeah, is it? I was asking if it's okay to actually in campus mostly, is it okay to date for love or just for fun and to have just happy moments?
Good time.
Okay.
There was a time they used to our agencies.
There was a word.
Yeah, okay, I don't you want to take that one? Okay, go.
I like it because that's such a tall order for most of our young people, especially the Gen Zs, talk about the ones in campus and all that. And that takes me back to when I was in high school. Mr. Cairo, you know, Cairo, he used to tell us, wewe mtu wako hata hajafanya class 8. Okay?
It's like the pretty ones are not yet bored.
And we get a bit uncomfortable with that because we were thinking they were a bit young, they were too young, and probably the age gap was quite big. And to my brother, what I can say is that it's very important, you know, for you to build you, because in most cases you find that we are there to have fun, and at the end of the day unatoka na certificate mbili, one for your degree and the other one for being a daddy. All right. And the challenge that I've seen in most cases is that if we don't work on ourselves, then we are not in a position to like get quality relationships. We are not able to get quality partners because already you're in a hurry and you're into this because of the circumstance and also the situation. So yes, it's good to be friends with as many as you can. And I wonder what your core business will be in such a situation. Are you there to build on you, or are you there to really get, have as many as you can? But if you get one that you're compatible with, if you get one that you can build a future with, there's nothing wrong with that. And this is where we say it's very important that you also get to ensure that you're mindful about the other person, because we might really enjoy and end up spoiling our future. We might really enjoy for that particular moment, but we live in tears for the longest time possible. So if we can work on ourselves, and I'm happy with those who've been able to build on themselves, because there are stories, there are cases of couples who met in campus, and they're having some beautiful families. They build some beautiful families at the end of the day. So the question would be, what is the intention, and what would be your priority?
Can I also add something small, just to answer him? If you want to diversify and enjoy different people, then in all due respect, don't be exclusive with someone.
Okay. Because then you end up
because the minute you decide you're being exclusive with this person, you have gone and called them your girlfriend, you have told them you and I are together, you can't see other people. Even you can't see other people, because what you're doing then is not having fun, it's called cheating.
Hey,
straight up.
Straight up. Listen, someone here on X says, I feel like there's a lot of variables to consider these days in matters love. External pressures like the now culture, lifestyle, media, film and showbiz platforms, platforms, tech-savvy youth, and the internet etc. that have devalued the meaning of love. Pure love should be non-attachment. Pure love should be non-attachment. Help, CJ.
I wouldn't know what
non-attachment
in this case
talk about, but you see, we have this multiplicity of culture, religion, modernization, and for some reason, I usually feel we gravitate towards the thing that favors us. So when we feel that religion will favor us, we lean there. So when it favors me, I will say the man is the head of the house. When it doesn't favor me about provision, I will say, you know, nowadays people do 50-50. So I will choose when to go Dutch. I will choose when to use the Bible, that I'm the head of the house. I will choose when to be an African man when I want to be cooked for. So we have such a mesh that is also not defined. And this thing is bringing a lot of frustration. At the age of 24, 23, 25, most men do not know what they want.
Exactly.
Generally. And so when they, for example, in campus, you're getting into a relationship with a girl who is probably a bit clearer about what she wants in life, the pressure will be real. Because now she wants direction. That's when the young men begin to feel they can't offer this and they're being pressured. There's a reason why Kagondu's teacher said, your girls are still... Because you've got to find yourself first, not even money. As a man, you have to find yourself first. And then you can lead people to what you have found, which is first of all yourself and the direction that you are going. The father figure part, I talked about it, and there's a lady who said, you know what, she doesn't subscribe to that. And I use father figure. I didn't say fathers. The father figure is more generally the role somebody plays than the age he is. You can be 17 and be the father figure in your house, probably because you lost your parents. And so you've been taking care of your siblings and you had to step up into a role. And you can be 40 and still be childish. I was going to use a stronger word.
Childish is fine.
You can be 40 and still very childish. You've been babied to death. So again, we have to ask ourselves, when we are looking at the people we want to relate with, are we just looking at age or stage? I could be 30 and not ready. I could be 22 and I'm ready for it.
Absolutely.
Hey, can we check that as your parting shot? Because we literally have 2 minutes. What is it that you want someone to take away from this conversation? I am so sorry, guys. I know there's a bado wako hapa tukimaliza show. Okay, you can ask them all your questions and comments, but we literally have to unfortunately close down the show. So, what is it that one thing that you'd want someone to take away from today's conversation?
I think what I want people to take away is this. Love and stability go together. I don't think you can separate the two. And by stability, I just don't mean financial stability. You obviously get in love or into a love relationship with someone because they're stable enough. Like he said, they're mature, you're mature, self-aware, they're mentally stable, emotionally stable, and you can see yourself going in the same direction together. So what I would say is, be a person who first chooses yourself and then choose another. Have that stability within yourself. If you don't have internal peace, internal happiness, usiende kuvuruga mtoto wenyewe. Because you have nothing to offer except war. If you don't have internal peace and internal happiness. You can only give what you have and they can only give what they have. And you both meet together and make a compatible relationship. So take the time to understand yourself, to understand why you're getting into that relationship. You might be lonely and you really want to get into a relationship, but believe you me, that might not be the right reason to get into a relationship. Figure yourself out first.
Pretty nice. I love it. And I think the question that I'm having crossing my mind is, how do I emerge, you know, in the presence of the other person? And when I've not taken care of myself, then that means I'll be a baggage to the other person. So let's sort ourselves out before we commit and get to tag along somebody else. And we're going to reduce the number of heart, the frequency of heart, because already we are well balanced. So fill your cup first.
Okay. Oh, that's good. CJ, do you want to say 10 seconds?
Yeah, I think it's okay for you to know that you're not ready to commit. That you may be attracted to somebody, but you just know you're not ready. You're not in that stage where you can give, where you can commit, where you can be expected to do certain things. When we are injured physically, we take a break. When we are sick, we take a break. Sometimes emotionally, you've got to recognize you're not in the space to operate at the level that you wanted to. And you can explain that to the other person. Like, I like you, I love this, but I'm not yet ready for a commitment. Let them make the decision whether they want to stay and wait or not.
Ooh, I love nice. Give them a choice.
Yes.
Okay. Hey, tumalize show tuende nyumbani sasa. Listen, Murithi Munoru on X says, one should be aware of emotional stability and financial stability and be able to separate both at a given time. That is, love can't be served for supper or pay bills, and we have a lazy generation that wants to get rich. Hey! Yo! Nisingema, anasema, without love, that is waste of time. Money we can find, but how do you want to be loved? That one is hard to find.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
Love or stability?
I think they go hand in hand, and I think sometimes we override emotional stability. They can have money, but they're not emotionally there for you. They do not see you how you want to be seen. They do not respond to you. And sometimes we're the ones who are not ready to be in those spaces. So be true to self, and also do not look at it in one direction.
Yes. And on that note, we say goodbye. Thank you so much for watching us.
You know what you've done, right? You know?
No, my thing is, first of all, understand what stability means to you as an individual, and then from there, make informed choices. But I like what Kangundu said. If you were given you to marry you, would you marry
you?
Okay, and this also goes to dating as well, okay? So I think that is what I'm going to leave at that. Allow us to say goodbye. My name is Winnie Lumbembe. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow on Wellness Wednesday.
And I'm with Kali Mary. See you tomorrow.
Goodbye.